We're in the days of Dhul Hajj. Hajj is around the corner. The story of Ibrahim Islam. Let's delve into it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome to the only way. Oh, so it's Eid is upon us, Hajj is upon us, Qurbanis are being arranged, people are setting up for Hajj. What is the valuable lessons that we can take from these days and the days in?
Yes, Alaikum Shani. So yeah, it's that time of year again, Zul Hajjah, and obviously Hajj is coming up as well. Hajj really is one of those symbols of Islam that really shows in front of your Lord, your colors, your ethnicities, your background, none of that matters. So the Hajjaj, they turn up in Ihram, they are from different backgrounds, different places, different nation states. None of that matters in front of your Lord. And it's really one of the symbols of our ummah, where whatever color you are, wherever you are from the world, you are part of the same ummah, you're part of the same belief. So Hajj is really symbolic of Islam's political nature, where we submit in front of our Lord. We have one system, we have one Aqidah, we have one foreign policy, we're one people, we're one big family. So, although you do acts of ritual at Hajj, it has a symbolic political symbolism on it, where the world looks at this and it sees that we're one people, irrespective of where we're from. Unfortunately, what we're seeing though is politics of a different kind by the Saudi royal family who manage the Hajj. So, apart from the fact that prices are going through the roof because they've taken over the Hajj process, but what we've seen is already a Nigerian sheikh wasn't allowed in. His visa was cancelled because he was critical of the Saudi monarchy and what they've been doing. And we know the Saudi monarchy are actually clamping down on online criticism of the regime. The plan of the Saudi monarchy to normalize relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords, they are really gearing up to monitor and deal with online criticism and things like that. And this is really taking things far because historically, even people who disagreed with the rulers, for Hajj, this was something put to the side because Hajj was one of those unique events that you can't politicize it. But what you're finding now is even Hajj is being used by the Saudi rulers. If you criticize the regime, don't expect to get a Hajj visa. If you criticize the policies of Saudi, then expect that even if you get to Saudi, you won't be allowed in to come and do your Hajj. That's the level we've got to now. And this, the Saudi monarchy now they refuse to really take any criticism, and now they're actually using Hajj as well. So this is like the worst. Whilst Hajj has so much symbolism, and it even shows the world that in front of Allah we're one ummah, what you find is the Saudi monarchy, unfortunately, are using it for the worst political, well, in the worst political way you possibly could.
Yeah, and I think we can just draw out some lessons from Hajj from Ibrahim alayhi salam. And how fortunate are we and how fortunate is mankind? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given his literal words of Ibrahim alayhi salam that he said to his people and guided his people. And he says in Surah Ankabut, Ibrahim alayhi salam said to his people, "You only worship besides Allah idols which produce falsehood." And it is just them 7 or 8 words are so impactful. You only worship besides Allah idols and they produce falsehood. And this is the world that we're living in, where mankind has been directed to worship falsehood and idols. Worship the money, worship the assets, worship the free life, worship going out and doing anything that you want, worship all these isms that are around us, and look at the falsehoods that they've created. There's such a disparity in wealth. The inequality is huge. The family structure is so broken, so confused that the highest court in the land is needed to define what a woman is. Where marriages barely last, where you got situations like P. Diddy where the treatment of women is so awful that you can't make sense of it. You got situations like Gaza where the murdering campaign, the only uh, uproar is, what do we call it, a genocide, or just murder. That's the level of falsehood and confusion and bad outlook that this world has been created. And Ibrahim al-Islam warned us of this. When you don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you don't take the world and the systems and the organization and the relationships from Allah, you're going to get falsehood. And never has any truer words been said than what Ibrahim al-Islam said. And just one more point, following on in the second half of the ayah, Ibrahim al-Islam he said, "Indeed, those you worship besides Allah do not possess for you provision." The world has been pulled into a globalization, into a capitalist system, into fiat currency, into interest based system, into uh, taxing everything, income tax, sales tax, VAT, uh, and yet the world is struggling. Everyone is running. People are migrating all over the world. People are moving towns, cities. In the UK, people can't afford rent, never mind to own a property. Owning a property has become uh, for the for the fortunate and the lucky. And Ibrahim al-Islam is right that they don't possess the provision. Once you detach from this system that's accumulating so much wealth for the elite, you will prosper. Even the ones who believe in it are now disconnecting from it. Who's that? America. Even they're disconnecting. They're saying our people are so fed up, they're so struggling. Actually, we're going to disconnect from this. So, for humanity, for the Muslim world, if we want to see a prosperous future, one of us, just owning a house, having food, being able to buy normal stuff, the quicker we detach from the IMFs, the World Banks, the special loans, the bilateral agreements, the better. And in this time of Hajj, it is, to reflect on these words of Ibrahim Islam and the world, then we will come to some good conclusions and a direction forward. So, Jazakallah khair for listening, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.